All right, well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another edit upload of It's a Dyer Thing. Rob here, and what are we going to talk about today as we're going kind of over a couple of reviews? I thought I would kind of take a couple of minutes of my time here just to kind of review and show you guys a bit of the products of the bike on the MT10 that I've done. So today what we're going to actually talk about is the rear rack. So this is the Yamaha rear rack. So not an aftermarket one, not something that a Yamaha dealership would sell, or yes they would, but actually a rear rack from Yamaha for your Yamaha. So Yamaha does offer a good variety of factory approved and factory manufactured rear racks for multiple bikes. So on the MT10, FZ07, MT09, there's the Tracer GT, the Tenere 700, Tenere 12, along with many other ones, right? So these racks here, ta-da, is the actual rear rack from Yamaha Japan. So it is engineered and manufactured by our little friends over the seas. So this is a factory OEM standard rear rack. So as you can see, this one here is a matte black finish. Some models will also offer in multiple colors where you got the matte black, or you can get a silver color, which would be very similar to the silver of the handlebars, right? So depending on what your personal preferences are and what bike you may have, you will have a couple of different options here. So in regards to mounting up the rear rack, each model will be slightly different because each rack will be designed for each model. For the most part, actually, what's really cool with the rear rack on the MT10, it's the same rear rack for an MT09. So think about that, guys. If you buy an MT09 and you buy a rear rack for when you want to do some touring and stuff like that, and you end up, I'm not going to say get bored of your MT09, but if you kind of want to go up, step it up a little bit more to an MT10, you don't have to start all over when it comes to purchasing your racks and so on and so forth. You can actually do it by keeping the same rack, which was really cool. So so in regards to mounting the rear rack, so this will go both for the MT09 and the MT10, just due to the fact that it is the same rack. On the actual motorcycles itself, you have the subframe, right, which is the frame that holds the whole back end together and your seat and so on and so forth. Right, so that's the subframe of the actual motorcycle. The rear rack will attach to that subframe. So again, depending on what models, it will have different attach points, right? In regards to this one here, as you can clearly see, the 4 fasteners underneath, the rear rack mounts up from the underneath into the subframe, whereas it does not require clamps and other special bracketry. Since it is a factory rack from Yamaha, designed for your Yamaha, it will already be built in specifically to mount at the proper mounting points straight from the production line. So that's what's really cool with this one here. So there's actually no modification that is required in order to mount that up onto the actual subframe. There are certain models out there, including both MT09 and MT10, that you have to do some slight trimming to the body panels in order for it to fit. So as you can see here on the subframe, we do got the plastic covering underneath, right? So this is all just a kind of like a clear covering or a black plastic covering, just to kind of clean it up. On that model there, you'd actually have to trim around and kind of just cut here, as you can clearly see, just to allow the mounting point of the rear rack to kind of go up inside. So take a Dremel. All factory models actually will have the marking and the indication as to where you need to cut and trim, make your holes in order for it to mount. So it's really straightforward. The installation instructions that come with all the mounts as well are very easy to follow. They're actually all pictograms. So it's a no-brainer in regards to installing it. So that's the nice thing about a factory finish, is you get a factory fit, whereas many of the other branded products out there may be universal and then would require some finesse in order to get it on. Where this thing here, you basically put it on, set it and forget it. As you saw, It's only 4 bolts, so literally within 2 minutes you can actually take this rack off, and then the bike can be back to being naked again, or you can put it on and then mount it. There are multiple different top cases that you can get for your rear racks. So we do have from Yamaha Canada, and in Europe you have a 39 liter and a 50 liter. In US you guys are actually even more lucky because you not only have a 39 and a 50, but you also have a 33, I think it is, a 33 liter. They all mount up onto this plate here. So they're actually basically a slide in, lock in place where you get the auxiliary key, or you can actually match it up with your ignition key, right? So what's really cool, like I said, you don't require any additional mounts or top plates, unlike other brands out there, right? So it is meant specifically to work for the Yamaha top cases. On certain models, we also offer side luggage, right? So depending on what model you have, you may get away with certain side cases that will work with the Yamaha cases. So you might be able to mix up the two brands, but for the most part, I would have to say if you're going with one specific brand of a mount for a top case or a side case, you're better off working all around the bike for that same brand. So if you're working with Yamaha products and Yamaha accessories and you're going with a top case, you want to stick with the Yamaha products, Yamaha side cases with the Yamaha mount, all branded Yamaha, just so that you get a perfect fit and finish in regards to setting it up onto your bike. Same thing that goes for shad. All of you that have followed me in the past, you may know that I'm a very big shad product. I do like them, and I continue to use them as well, especially for the side cases on certain products. If you have the knowledge and know how to mix and match and what you need to do, you can get it to work right. I'll definitely do some further uploads as the summer progresses. When I have to do some touring rides, you guys will get to see that. So you gotta subscribe to my channel, hit that notification button, so this way you'll never miss a beat. But for the most part, if you are working with shad's luggage, I would say go with shad all around. So both the top case, the rear mount, and the side bags. And then this way, you know, as a person yourself, as a consumer, that you won't have any troubles mounting it all together. So just don't mix and match, right? I would have to say first and foremost, or consult with your local Yamaha dealership and see what they have in regards to being able to provide you with the best answer. If not, then you can always reach out to the Yamaha customer relations department here up in Canada, and we'd be more than happy to help you out for you Canadians, right? So anyways, that's another little review. Yes, I do have a GoPro mount here. That was just for the weekend ride because I wanted to have a GoPro kind of facing rearwards, but basically that does not stay there. I like to, for the most part, keep my cargo net on when I'm not riding around with a box, as just simple because it basically holds my hat in place, right? So thank you very much for tagging along with me for another little quick review here. All of you, I hope you are safe, and thank you. Be good. Don't forget, subscribe, like, notifications, give me a thumbs up, comments, suggestions, let me know your feedbacks. I'm always happy to hear it out, and I'm always happy to respond. Until next time, keep it covered. Bye.